Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
and let me start our interview session now. So, hello,
Okay.
my name is Singi, and another two person is my good members. We are students from University Malaysia Sarawak Unimas, and the main purpose that we having this interview session with you is because of our assignment for managerial economics courses that require us to interview a manager of the company. So the reason that we choose XFAB as our assignment company is because we have done some survey and we believe that XFAB is a quite larger company and I think it can consider as a worldwide company also. So before we start with our first question, can you tell us what is your name and your position in the company and also how long have you worked with XFAB?
Okay. My name is Pang Xiu Qi. Okay, and then I'm the director of the manufacturing and IT. So in charge of two departments. I work in XFAB since 2002. So that means it's 18 years until today.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yes.
Okay. All right.
An
Thank
old man.
you. Okay. Then let me start with our first question. So the
Okay.
first question I would like to ask you is on how you keep your company success until today, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mm-hmm. I think first of all, to be successful in today's world, you need to able to offer something very niche to the market,
Mm,
something that not so many people can do. So I think that's where Accept do well in this because our technology is mainly for the automotive market. So as we
mm,
know, you don't want something in your car to break down suddenly. You want to have very high quality and very reliable in extreme situation. So that's why I think the value expect is our technology is specially targeted for this automotive or industry market. So then I think quality will be first. Then second thing, of course, apart from all those normal business thing, you need to manage your cost. That is normal thing we have to do. But I think one thing we stress a lot also is our corporate value
mm.
because eventually it's between the relationship between you and your customer that this trust relationship will determine a long-term business. So that people don't go away just because it's cheaper somewhere or they need to establish this kind of trust. So that's why I think that's very unique for Aspect. We aim for long-term success rather than just short-term profit and loss.
All
Yeah,
right. Okay. Is it that's all?
yeah. I think just summary.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So then we move to the next question. Then I believe that every company will have their advantage in some areas. So may I know what are the advantage that your company have?
I think just as I mentioned, the advantage is in the technology that we're offering.
Mm,
So what we're offering is the technology mainly for the automotive market, meaning
yeah.
for cars or those things, right? And then meaning customer can design based on the technology that we offer to them. So that's why because a lot of we call it design house, they only design, they don't manufacture. Okay,
Yeah.
for us, so after they design based on our technology, we can manufacture for them. So to them, they is a win for them because it's a very big capital investment if you want to build a factory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for all these design house, they don't need to have a manufacturing factory. They can build based on our technology, and then we manufacture the product for them.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next is just now you have been working with XFAB more than 10 years, uh 18 years, right? So have you ever
Yep.
met the employees that lack of specific skills that requires to achieve the company goals?
I think, of course, I think no one is perfect, right?
Yeah.
So if you read Peter Drucker, right, what he say is capitalize your strength and make your weakness negligible. Because today world, we need to work in the team, right? So it's just like not everyone can swim, or not everyone is good at mathematics. But when you work in the team, right, you need to choose people with different skill, right? So that it complement each other towards a common goal. I think that's one thing very important. The second part is, of course, instead of saying we're lacking the skill, we will say what are the skills that we want to enhance, right? So example, leadership skill is something that we continuously develop ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's a human that make the difference. Okay, it is the human that can think innovative way how to overcome certain thing or create new solution. So that's why it's very important for the leaders, I mean managers, or even everyone is a leaders, right? How can they bring out the best of everyone? So I think that is the skill that we continue to improve ourselves. I would say that.
All right. Okay. Then we move to the next question. I will ask you on, have you ever encountered a shortage of cash inflow during the COVID-19 pandemic? If yes, how did you and your team solve it?
Okay, I think I would say business definitely impacted. Okay, during this COVID-19 case, especially in, I would say, Q2, maybe end of Q1, let's say April to, let's say, July. Okay, April to July is a time we see suddenly the order drop very much, because as we know, our market is mainly in the automotive, meaning cars, right? So in this worldwide pandemic, you were not thinking to buy a new car. You will try to save money, because a lot of people losing their job, a lot of people, their income is impacted. No one know what going to happen. The company is locked down, all those things, right? So that means that the market suddenly crashed. Okay, so I think the business dropped the most during, let's say, April to July timeframe. So what we do to overcome this is, of course, we immediately increase our cost management effort. We have been doing this every year, but I think this period of time is we intensify the effort activities. So some of the things we do is because the business coming down, so we will shut down some of the machine in the fab, because then you reduce the consumable, right? You don't need to monitoring, you don't need to do a lot of qualification. So there's a part of the cost management. Let's say we reduce the overtime, okay, or we freeze also we only hire people that is really necessary. So we slow down all this hiring process and overtime. Then of course also, I think part of the thing we do is also we delay the big expenses. We try to delay, like not buying expensive thing at this time. So as part of the measure to counter this drop in the business volume.
All right. So I think that's all from me. So next I will pass it to Sling. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for Xi. Now, my name is Xi Ying.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Now I will ask some question that I'm start now.
Okay.
Which part of the company system that you think is lacking and it should be improved?
I think for now, the area that we try to improve is in terms of big data and the analytics, artificial intelligence, all this part of thing. Because I think it's all in all this data we collected, we try to get more insight, okay, on what better business decision we can do. Okay, so I think that, and also automation in terms of robotics, all those things. So I think those are the areas that we already established a team to explore into this, and we have already some early success. But I would say this is just the beginning. We try to apply all this technique in the various business aspect. So that's the part we're working on.
Okay. Next question is, will you think that COVID-19 might give you a positively effect in your industry?
Yeah, in fact, when I see this question, right, I think for a while,
Yeah.
but after rethinking, in fact, it does bring some benefit. So, example, because we are very high tech industry, so some of the machine you need the vendor, which is your supplier, to fix it for you. Let's say it's breakdown, whatever, right? And this vendor, it could be from Singapore, it could be from Japan, right? But in this lockdown period, you cannot bring in them, or they need to quarantine, I don't know, maybe 1 month before they can reach your fab to troubleshoot it for you. So, and this is create a big challenge. But with this big challenge, we find opportunity is we work with the vendor. We say, okay, how about this? Can you do online assist or not? That means we use something online. We let you see the camera, and from there you guide us on the troubleshooting or tell us how to do. And with this, we actually get the skill passed down from the vendor, because some skill they never want to teach us before, but because now they cannot come in and we have to repair the machine. So through this online, then our local engineer actually pick up the skill. So I think that is some of the positive thing we get from this COVID.
So the question is, what are the input used to produce the service?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we manufacture silicon wafer. Have you guys seen a silicon wafer before? Okay. Let's see any picture in Google now. Okay, let me share my screen. You guys see this? Okay, so one piece of this, we call it a wafer. Okay, it's not the one you eat in Boulevard or something. They are also wafer. There's a wafer. Okay, this wafer. Okay, wafer. Okay, so you see, like each of the small box is a chip. Okay, so this chip then do a lot of things. It could be sensor, it could be whatever. Okay, so the company XFAB Sarawak is making this wafer. Okay, so of course, this wafer, this one is with a lot of circuit printed on top of it. It's in sub-micron, like maybe 0.18 micron dimension. Okay, it's very, very, very small. Okay, so before you can print the circuit on this, you need the raw wafer, which look like this, like a mirror. Okay, this thing we call it an ingot. You cut it piece by piece, then become this. So on this blank thing, we build the circuit, then it become like this. The second picture. Okay, so that you guys have some idea. So to build this, then we need a lot of the raw material, of course, is a wafer. Then will be those chemical and the gases that we need to for the reaction and for the process. So those are the raw material we use it for the fabrication process.
Next question. What happens if a manufacturer or supplier run out of material that you need?
Okay, if they run out of the material, then our production will stop. It's a big, big thing, big problem.
Okay, I continue the next question.
Sure.
Okay. Is consumer behavior changing in a way that could negatively impact your business?
Yeah, I think, like I said just now, because we're not directly dealing with consumer, we are business to business, B2B, right? So of course, we say the end market mostly will be in automotive. So in the COVID case, of course, people do not buy this expensive item, right? So that's why it will impact the business, that's for sure.
Okay. The next question is, what are the exciting problem in the team that are impacting performance?
I think a lot of case, I would say communication. Okay, in a lot of cases, it's like you assume I will do this, I assume you will do this, at the end, no one do. Okay, so I think that's the thing we continue to work on, how to make the communication more clearer so that everyone know exactly what they need to do to achieve the common goal. I think that will be the case. Skill, everything, I think we are improving every day, I would say. So it's usually the communication breakdown that cause the performance issue.
Okay. The next question is, how did you overcome the economic crisis during the period of COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, I think just like I mentioned, during this COVID, the first thing we will have to do will be to actively manage our costs. So that's why we say we minimize the OT, don't buy the expensive stuff, uh, and then we also qualify the second source or third source, because usually when competition come in, the price will come down. We also negotiate with the supplier for contract, for the material, see can we drop the price or not, that kind of thing. So I think mainly will be cost management during this COVID case.
And also during the COVID-19 pandemic period, what strategy did you use to attract more customer or minimize the profit?
I think what we do is from our existing customer, we will try to see is just some of the product they haven't buy from us, right? So I think that will be an existing channel that we can explore what the possibility we can develop something together. Is one thing. And then I think second part also we work with customer. We tell them because we have it in the industry long. We say, look, now it's a downturn, but usually when the market come back, it will come back in a V shape. Okay, so we say why don't you start some production first, and then we park the product in somewhere middle of the line, and then when the market come back, you already have some stock in the middle of the line, then you can ship out the wafer faster. Because typically the duration from start until the end could take 2 to 3 months. So we say maybe you can start something into middle, okay, and then we pack the thing there. And then once you decide what is end product you want, then you continue from there. Then only within 1 month or 1.5 months, you can already have your product in the market. So those are the things we work with the customer. And true enough, the market come back in a V shape, okay? It come back probably in October. Suddenly the market come back very strong. So I think this strategy helped to manage the situation better.
Okay. The next question is, are you trying to cut the company cost by law of staff during the hard time on this COVID-19?
You mean by layoff, right? Yeah, no, we didn't do that, because layoff is a very, very painful thing. It gives you short-term cost saving, okay, but it destroys all the trust you build between the employee and the management, okay, because in good days, we are a team, we should work together, but when the business is bad, you cut them first. So then people will not trust you, or they will not trust you for a very long period of time. So usually that is the last thing we do. Okay, so in fact, what we do in this is all those cost management measures, just like I mentioned, is the one we hope to use to go through this downturn together.
I think that's all for my question. Then I will pass to Lisan to continue.
Thank you, Shi
Thank you.
Ying. Okay, so my question is, what are the challenges that the company face a lot on the demand of your selling stock?
You mean the product?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have a very unique strategy. We don't build stock. We only build upon order. That means if you order something, then when we build it for you. So our stock level is usually very, very low. Okay, it just like maybe the customer say, because now the market very bad, maybe you delay the shipment. Okay, maybe you delay 1 month or 1.5 months. So that's the only thing we do. But we don't, build up stock, and if this thing comes, then we suddenly end up with a lot of stock. So that's not what we do. Over the years, we only build based on order. Okay, so we only have the problem that customer delay the shipment only.
Oh, I see. So for the next question, what are the challenges that the company face a lot on the supply of the stock?
I think during the COVID case, because of this lockdown, right, the shipment will be a problem because a lot of flight is cancelled, a lot of shipping is cancelled, or a lot of raw material. Example, that time we are shortage of face masks, right?
Yeah.
Because in our factory, when we work, we need to wear a face mask. We work in an environment we call it clean room. Okay, it's very, very clean environment. So we need to have all these face masks. So that will be the challenge we see or we face during this COVID case. But of course, I think we managed quite well because over the years, we know we cannot rely on only one supplier. Okay, for cost, also for this kind of supply situation. So what we do, we already qualify 2 or 3 supplier. Okay, that means if you cannot give, I can get from other source. So this is one thing we do. Then of course it's also based on your inventory management policy, like how many stock you want to keep. 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to counter this shipping interruption problem. So those are the things we use to counter the problem we see during the COVID case.
Moving on to the next question. What are the goals of the company and who are your competitors in this area?
I think the goals of the company is we want to be the foundry of choice for the analog world. Okay, maybe just explain a little bit. Because our device is very special. Example, a lot of a chip, we say this electronic is a digital, meaning 0 and 1, 0 and 1, right? But the technology we build is like analog, means you have 0 until 1, you have an infinite point. That means you can measure things like pressure. You not only say high and low, you can say how high, what's a 1 Pascal, 1.5 Pascal, or that kind of thing. So this is specialty of our company. So we want to be when people think of, they want to buy this kind of technology, they think of us. It's just like when you brush your teeth, you say you use Colgate, right? But you could be using Dali, right? But you call it Colgate because Colgate, you recognize the brand as toothpaste. Okay, or you say nighttime I cook Maggie, but actually you could cooking Indomie, but you call it Maggie. Okay, because Maggie brand is so strong that you say instant noodle equal to Maggie. So that's what we want to be. We want to be when people think of, I want to buy this kind of technology for analog devices, they think of XFAB. So I think our company will be other foundry or fab tech offering similar product.
Can you list down some companies?
Okay, for this question, right, I need to go back and ask my marketing team. I will get back to you.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so
No
next
problem.
question is, can you give some advice on how to success in today's business amidst uncertainty in the business environment?
Yeah, I think one thing is you need to be niche. You need to offer something that not a lot of people can do and do it well, first thing. And then you need to aim for long-term relationship, okay, because that's the one keep you going for long. And of course, I think you need to be innovative. You need to keep on changing because the change now very, very fast. Okay, so you need to keep on adapting yourself and changing, rethinking the way you're doing all this work. Is it still the best way or not? Okay, then only you can adapt to this very fast changing world.
Okay. So for our last question, what strategies you use to maximize the company value?
You mean value in terms of profit?
Can be said like that.
Okay. I mean, profit is your revenue minus your cost, right? Okay, so if you can increase your revenue, you can minimize your cost, then you maximize your profit. Okay, so in terms of maximize the revenue, there's two things you can do. One thing, you increase your capacity through a lot of productivity improvement. So because those things no need a lot of money compared to you keep on buying equipment. Okay, so how can you increase the productivity by 10-20% without buying additional equipment? So there's a strategy to maximize the revenue. Then of course you also can offer something that's niche so that you can offer the market with the very higher selling price. Okay, those are the things also to maximize revenue. Then of course you need to reduce waste, like you need to control the quality in the fab, because if you produce 1,000 wafer, you scrap 100 wafer, that means 10% you lost. Okay, but if you can minimize this to 3%, that means you have 7%, you minimize the waste. That's the thing also can maximize your revenue. So this is about the maximizing revenue part. Then of course you need to actively manage your cost. Okay, some of the thing is like, let's say the wafer. Okay, the wafer is a raw material we need to use. You need a raw wafer to produce a final product. Since you know you're going to need it anyway, some of the strategy we do, we call it a long-term agreement. Let's say we sign a 3-year agreement or 5-year agreement with the wafer supplier. We say we commit to buy you at this price for 3 years. So then can you lower the price for us or not? Okay, so those are the strategy we use to keep the cost down. Then of course, productivity is not so much about just to make more wafer, but also about reduce waste. We also actively look into what waste we can reduce in the production process. Okay, so that we can minimize the expenses. Then of course, just now we say also, you qualify second source, third source of the same material, because by doing this, you create competition among the supplier. Then the supplier, they know, you actually, now you got other choice already. I better drop some price for you so that you don't go away. Okay, so those are the strategy we use to manage your cost. So if you can maximize your profit, revenue, and then minimize your cost, then you increase your profit.
Okay.
Simple to say, but very hard to do.
Yeah, I see. Okay, all right, Mr. Pang, I think that's all for today's interview session. Thank you very much for your time today. It was our pleasure to have interview session with you.
Okay, so I will check the competitor and then I'll forward to Xingyi.
Okay, sure, can.
Probably by Friday. Is it okay for you?
I think can.
I think can.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry
so finally can talk.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Pang. Because just now I have some line connection issues, so I can't join the interview session. I'm so sorry for bringing you in trouble.
No problem. So would you like to ask some question?
So far my questions already listed inside the file, and they already asked it for me also. So far I don't have any questions.
Okay, no additional question.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 That's all for today.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.